Good afternoon. Sorry we're on the late hour here. A lot going on. What do you got? Okay.
Oh, we just. You talked on the radio about how emotional the game was sort of for you in terms of being back at USC and things like that. Was there something different about this game that kind of led to that?
No,
or?
I didn't say that about. It wasn't about the game. It was after the game. You know, just kind of hanging out around the place and just I really hadn't allowed myself to just go back into the the kind of the memories and stuff. And I did that, and so I shared it with the guys on the radio, trying to help the show and make sure I'm doing a good job of doing my part. Anyway, so it was a great experience really afterward to kind of just remember all the stuff to be grateful for, appreciate and all that.
What did you take away from the running game when you had a chance to go back and look at it? Not a whole lot of effectiveness.
Yeah, we did make a lot of yards, and we worked it enough. We got whenever we get around that 50 mark of completions and carries, it's a good number for us. We were close, 49 this week, and so that gives us a chance to mix and feel it. But it wasn't effective enough, and I wish, it's one of those deals. I wish we'd have got ahead a little bit more, so we could have really pounded a little bit and seen if we could, make some more yards with it. But kept our attitude about it, kept trying and working at it. And both Eddie and Thomas got some shots, and so we need to do better. I really want to keep pounding away until we get better at it, and we'll make progress there.
You talked about that 50 number before. Is that something that you go back a long ways with, or where'd you go?
I heard it was a Vince Lombardi number, so I think it goes way back.
What's the criteria you're using now at lead back? Or who's going to go lead back 1 week versus the next? What criteria are you using? What are you evaluating there?
Who said we had criteria? I'm not sure what that means. No, we're just going to keep working our guys, and keep rolling them. They're both really worthy guys, and we just pound away and see what happens as the games go. And everybody's ready to go. CJ will be back next time around, and we'll add him in too. So we'll see how it goes. I was off on that last week. I thought we'd make it last week. He didn't quite make it back, but he'll be back this time around, and there's no reason to have any criteria for it right now because we like our guys, and really equal status now is good for us, and we'll see how they do.
Even if the yards weren't there for him, were those touches late in the game important for Thomas just to kind of?
Yeah, I think so. I thought Thomas did have a better feel as the game went on. He just doesn't have much experience in the last year, and so we'll just keep bringing him along and see how it goes.
Is that the biggest thing with him? Is that he just doesn't have enough reps under his belt over the last?
Yeah, he doesn't. You can't add him up. There's none. He's next to nothing. So. But he's working real hard, and he's in good shape, and his attitude is great. And I don't see there's any reason other than just kind of bringing him along. And meanwhile, Eddie's pounding it, and we'll be all right.
Rams had a couple of big passes in the last possession. What did you see in film?
Oh, we misjudged the ball in the first seam route. The other one was just an in route, one-on-one in route that they hit, but they kind of misjudged the play on the ball on the seam route and made a great throw, and so they get the big play that gets them jump started in the drive, and just misplayed it. We were there to make the play, but we just didn't play the ball right.
And the second one?
It was just I think it's the one I'm thinking about. It was a big, dig route, big in route, and the guy just hit it one-on-one.
What stood out to you about how you guys sort of contained Todd Gurley or held his numbers down fairly well?
Well, we went up against the top offense just about in the scoring wise at least, and quarterback was I guess second rated or something going in. Gurley had as many touches as anybody next to Kareem Hunt, in yardage wise and all that, and his numbers weren't real significant in this game, and the quarterback's rating, he wasn't there either, although he made a lot of terrific throws in the game. So we were able to keep them from being effective in the ways they'd been effective, and we'll see how many times people hold them to 10 points. I think that's a pretty good output for the day. They started fast and got off to a real good roll, and our guys rallied and came back and played really 3 quarters of great football and kept them down. But you got to get they're good. They're doing a lot of really good stuff, and it took us some special plays and some good fortune and all to keep it down. But the great part about it was, even though they started pretty well, they didn't, they weren't able to maintain it. And our guys were able to adjust and play really good football and play really aggressive and take their strengths somewhat, minimized during the course of the day.
You mentioned special plays, and I know you talked about Earl last night, but now that you've had a little time to watch that play where he knocks the ball loose, how special is that play he made?
It's a phenomenal play, and what's really is exciting about it is he's done it before. You go back and the pictures on the wall in the hallway down here, of him doing that against the Rams, but to watch the play and to watch the absolute maximum intensity from the first step he took in chasing the football to making that play, and to get it done with just a fraction of an inch. You got to credit the officials too. I mean, they took their time on that thing, and it was a hard one to figure out. And they, I'm sure they were working with New York and all that, but they took their time, talked it through, and got to the the essence of what happened. So, but it was because of this phenomenal really will to stop that play at the very last inch. We always talk about give us an inch to defend, and we'll do it. And Earl got that done and more.
Was his conversation with the officials important in getting their attention on the touchback possibility?
I don't know that. I mean, we were all over it with the guys on the headsets and all that. So I'm sure that he knew what he had done, and he knew what happened there, and I'm sure he had really helpful thoughts. Very encouraging words of wisdom and.
Just over the first 5 games, how well has Earl played?
He's playing great. He really is. Earl is playing terrific football. We've been raving about his return because he exceeded our expectations. That we've been over the top, but he's matched it week after week after week of really playing great football. He's been very aggressive. He's really gone after a lot of stuff, and he's causing problems back there. Yeah, and every now and then with the way Earl plays, he's going to take a shot at something. He may err in his thoughts or judgment on a play just because he's trying to go for it. And they got away with a good seam route on us, that we would like to think he'd hit, but they didn't get any other ones on him after that, that he could have defended. So anyway, he's playing great football and fired up about him.
Brandon Jackson, did he do more than you thought he might have been able to, or what did you?
Yeah, well, we wanted to make sure and rotate our guys well in this game, more so than we did back in the Tennessee game. We thought it was a little bit of a heat game, and so he got shots. He was in there early and just kind of rolled through and really was very effective. And so that's just fortunate. I mean, he showed it during our practice time with him on practice squad, and that's why we elevated him to give him a shot at it. And sure enough, he came through and did some good things. So, he set the bar kind of high first time out. So we'll look forward to as we come back and see what he can do.
How did Frank kind of handle the increased workload with Cliff being out and starting?
Shoot, Frankie played great football. He really played well. He was tearing it up on the running game. Really defended the perimeter running game, chased the ball down well. Put some good pressure on, beat Whitworth, who has been unbeatable so far, and for a big sack and a forced fumble. He's doing really well, and we're just kind of excited to just keep putting him out there. And he does things that kind of blow you away, and it's exciting to have him on the field.
Does his effort level stand out when you watch it?
Oh yeah, no, that is what stands out. That and he has tremendous strength. He's 260 pounds, so he's not the biggest guy. But his strength is phenomenal, and every now and then he catches guys, and he does some remarkable things, moving people around to make his plays.
He spoke to us eloquently after the game about the defensive linemen all standing yesterday, and that yesterday wasn't the day to sit with what happened in Las Vegas. Did you like how that came off? And what
Yes,
they did?
I thought it was very thoughtful. And I knew that they were going to do something like that, and support our guys and encourage them to continue to do the right things. Our guys are working hard to make a difference, and that was, I think, a statement that they really were hoping would resonate with some.
What's kind of your overall assessment of the O-line through 5 games?
That we've made improvement, and we're kind of feeling our guys in terms of what their strengths are and how they're fitting together, with still areas that you can see that will improve. In terms of identification, communication on the move, on some of the pass rushes, there's just small things that we can do better that will keep us cleaner. Russell is being very resourceful in the pocket, keeping those guys alive too when they do have issues. He's been able to escape, but we're getting better, and so we just got to keep going in that same direction and keep improving.
With Bree specifically, what did you make of the way he played yesterday?
He did quite well. You know, when you think about who he's going against, we have tremendous respect for Robert Quinn, and he was healthy and coming after it, and he blocked him a bunch of times, and Quinn won a few times, and that's, you know, he did a nice job out, knowing also that he came off, you know, a very uncomfortable week, and he was not 100%, but he made it through the game, and he was very sore today, but he did make it through the game, and the break will really help him. But it was a very admirable effort by him to go ahead and match up against a great player throughout the whole game and hung in there very well.
Is Luke Jokel having a surgical procedure done?
Yes, he will. He'll get a scope on, I think it's Thursday if everything works out right. And they're going to try to clean him up and see how fast we can get him back.
Any idea of the length of time he might miss?
Michael Bennett, any update on his?
Yeah, Michael, he did have a plantar fascia injury, and he's really sore today. But he was able to finish the game and did a fantastic job to help us down the stretch. And he's going to need these couple weeks here.
How did he play with that?
He just did, you know, and they treated him and all that, and then he was able to come back out there and just kind of hang in there, and he wanted to finish badly, and he did it.
With you guys dealing with injuries, does this bye week come at a good time for you?
You know, it always does. Yeah, it always does, you know. I'm thrilled that we're where we are at this time after kind of the a start that we weren't exactly counting on, to be back in in the division and have an opportunity to be in good shape for this week when we're off. That's important for us mentally, and we have a lot of work to do, and we're going to come roaring back. But guys will be healed up somewhat, and we should be fresh, and we're going to try to take full advantage of that. And we got a big trip to coming back, going to New York, and it'll be huge to get everybody out there going again.
Will Deion Jordan practice next week, or does he have a chance to?
No, he won't. He won't make it next week. He's still a couple weeks away from us. I think getting him back out there, but he's in full conditioning mode right now. He's in football conditioning mode with the trainers and the strength and conditioning staff, and he's pushing it. He's going to see how far he can go and how fast he can go, and we just keep our fingers crossed for him. It's been a long haul for him, and we're really pulling for him.
In the second quarter touchdown drive, what was instrumental in that? Was it Wilson getting rid of the ball quicker or a cleaner pocket?
Well, we really hit it on third down in that drive. In particular, Bev was able to manage the down and distance well. We had 3 or 4 third and 4s or third and 3s, 5s right in there, and we converted on those and kept the drives alive. And guys did a nice job. We didn't run the ball a lot in that drive. We mixed it around with the throwing game, but ran it okay too. And it really came down to third down conversions. I think we had a lot of plays in the first half, and we converted very well in the first half. It was a really good finish to the 2 quarters. Really, again, we were able to move the ball downfield and get a field goal at the end in a 2-minute situation and do that well with the clock and all. And Russell's in the middle of all of that. So I thought that he was very effective in that drive and in the drive after that as well. So
With Jokel, is it possible for him to be back for the next game you guys have, or is that
I think
too
that's going to be hard to count on that. Yeah, that'd probably too much to count on.
Deshaun Shedd, what's his timeline on potentially?
He's just a couple weeks now. He's been looking at this Giants game, and the week after that, I don't know. He's got a couple weeks before he can get back out, but he's in full push mode. He's trying to get it done. As soon as they'll let him back out, he's coming.
Is he on a little bit longer time frame than Jordan, or are they about the same?
No, they're basically the same at this point until we see how they come through with the loaded workouts they're doing.
There was a report you guys had Brandon Albert in for a workout. Is that something you would want to do? Or, I mean, with Jokel being out, you need to do something.
Yeah, we already did it. Yeah, it's been done.
What did you see from Sheldon Richardson on a couple of turnovers he was able to
Really good athleticism. Both plays were really demonstrated terrific athleticism. The transition to make the catch on the interception and the transition on the ball bouncing, to turn into a runner. And he looked pretty good running with the football. He had that thing high and tight, took care of it once he got going, and looked very comfortable.
I think you guys didn't get a first down offensively in the fourth quarter. Well, when you kind of look at the stretch at that point in time, what kind of stood out to you?
Well, I thought we finished the game well. We took care of the clock as much as we could. The defense came through and did their thing throughout the fourth quarter. Then the final drive becomes a total drama and in itself. But our guys were poised. Blair came through with his kick, and I mean all the things we had to do. It was well done to finish the game. I thought we played very smart throughout the fourth quarter of it, and were able to finish a win. And it was a difficult one, and it was on the verge, and they were ready to go and the whole thing. And I thought our guys came through beautifully.
Is there a chance Cliff doesn't come back at all this year?
Well, we'll see. He's got some stuff coming up in a couple weeks to test. I'm not sure if it's 2 weeks or we can have something like that pretty soon. I think when we get back, we'll know more and we'll find out. Like I've said all along, we're going to do everything we can to help him for the long haul and not rush any decisions or make any conclusions on the rush. We don't need to. He's a bright guy and got family and all kinds of support and all that. So we'll make a really good decision on whatever it is, and we'll have to wait and see though.
The fade to Jimmy in the end zone, is that something you guys have been waiting to see?
Yeah, we really have. We've worked on it a lot, and just for whatever reason, there's only been a couple of them over the time we've been in here. So hopefully we can do that some more.
Are there some defenses that you've seen it's more conducive to split him out wide? He seemed to be out wider yesterday a lot more.
Yeah, I'd say yes to that. It depends on the matchups and how they want to match and stuff.
Have you seen enough of that to see what the trade-off is of not having him chip, not having him be inside versus the payoff of having him outside? Is that a
yes?
Is that a good thing to have him outside?
It's a good thing to be able to do everything with him. It makes him very versatile, and he has become an effective blocker and also an effective helper in pass protection when we do need him, which is just a few times a game. But when we do, he's done a great job of it. He's just spread the wealth a little bit on all the things he's capable of doing. I think that's good for us. He did a nice job outside, though.
A few of the defensive players were saying that, the first drive where the Rams moved the ball, they saw a few things that weren't in film or whatever, and then they adjusted. For a defense, just how important are those first drive or two to just sort of feel out what the offense is doing and then adjust?
Well, it's just the first shot at the information, and it takes a while to figure out, how a team's going. They got to come back out at you a couple times and make sure that, you're evaluating correctly and not rush to judgment on stuff. They pretty much stayed with their stuff that they like, and there's always a little tweak here and there, and so we just had to figure it out. They hit the good seam route, and they popped a run, and we made a mistake on, and then the flip play was well executed, and they blocked us pretty good on that one, the one that went down to the goal line, and then after that, we kind of got things under control pretty well, but. It does take some time, and we don't want to rush to the decisions. We anticipate how they could go, and we wait and see, and we try to confirm, the plan and confirm what they've been doing, and all that takes a while. So the first drive, first quarter is pretty important. By the time you're in the middle of the second quarter, you're starting to get a good feel for it. I've always felt like, it's at halftime when you really make your adjustments, when you really do stuff, and you've had enough information, and so we've always kind of prided ourselves on that.
How would you kind of view Blair Walsh's first 5 games with you?
I think he's doing really well. He came through again. It was a big game on the road, the whole thing. And I'm thrilled with the way he's getting the ball out, and the ball is up, and we're not having any issues at all about like balls getting knocked down on the kicks, which is great. And their guy's a great kicker, and he had a hard time hitting the one he had to hit, So we'll just take him one at a time, and he keeps banging them, and he's working really hard, and he's a good guy to compete with. And so I think we're lucky to have him.
The kickoff, the one that went out of bounds, did he just miss hit that one?
Well, the ball fell off the tee, and it was like the Charlie Brown thing, and Lucy. I think he wasn't quite sure, and whatever, it got him, So he doesn't hit the ball like that, but. I don't know where Lucy was coming from, but I thought we had a clean shot there, but it got him a little bit, I think.
With Joko, is it something new, or it's just not coming back from the surgery the way you hoped?
It's just developments that occur, going through the process of getting your knee back, and it took as we brought him back very carefully, and there was something that was kind of hanging in there that was irritating him for some time, and we tried to wait it out and see what it was, and we have waited as long as we can wait, and he's been a stud about it, and now it's time to get cleaned up, and hopefully it'll be really smooth for him, and docs will get in there and get him cleaned out, and away we go.
Anything else?
Okay.